What up, everybody? This is TZ. I'm gonna show you how to record on Adobe Audition CS5 and 6. This is 6 I have opened up, but pretty much it's the same thing, the same format and everything. Now, whenever you first start off, let me close all this. It will look like this, and what you want to do is click multi-track up top, just title it whatever you want to name it, then just hit OK and it will open up. Now your M is for mute, S for solo, R for record. This right here is your volume, this right here is your pan. This right here, if you have an input like an interface or something like I do, you would click this mono, and then you would select which one. I have the M Audio Fast Track Pro. Whichever one your microphone is plugged into, that's what you would select. I always record on mono, because if you record on stereo, what will happen is pretty much, let me just do this. Alright, now you'll have your vocals up the top, but down bottom it'll pretty much just look exactly like that, the way it does right now, and pretty much it'll have static in your verse. So always record in mono no matter what you do. But if for some reason it doesn't show up and everything, like mono doesn't show up, you have to go to your audio hardware and your default input. It will show it. It should be under here. So just a little tip. Now, if you want to get your, how to get an instrumental or something in here, you go to File, Open, or you can press Control O. You could put anything in here. It'll open up like this. Like this is the waveform menu that it'll show up as. Just hit multi-track, and it will take you back to this. You could select, if you just clicked on the instrumental, you could either click up here, which is the insult to multi-track, it'll go into it, or if you click it and drag it, it'll go in there too. So either way, that's totally up to you. One thing, no matter what track you have, one thing you can do is these boxes right here is the fade in. The one on the left is the fade in, and the one on the right is the fade out. Alright, so just remember that in case you want to, experiment with like an instrumental or a beat or something. Down here you have your buttons: stop, play, pause, start at the beginning. This right here will just rewind it a little bit, fast forward a little bit. This will go to the end. This is your loop playback. This is your record. Whenever your loop playback is green, it's enabled. So if you highlight something and just hit play, this has got to be one of your needs. That's what it will keep doing. Now, if it's not selected, then it'll just play straight through. This has got to be one of your needs. See, now that one just kept playing straight through. And then right here is, your skip selection, whatever. I really don't mess with the skip selection too much. The time, which just tells you where your cursor is on it. So wherever you put it at, that's where it'll show it. Zoom, this one right here will zoom in, make the tracks bigger. This will zoom out, make them smaller. This one right here will zoom the time in. So if you want to, pretty much some people will mess up a beat, but pretty much if you zoom all the way in, you could go in, delete part of it, and do it how you want to do it. This right here, zoom out full so you can see everything. If you have a lot of tracks and you want to see all of it, just hit that. This right here. This is another zoom button, pretty much. That's pretty much all those do. Selection. This right here will tell you anything about any one of your tracks. Starts at 0. It's 3 minutes and 47 seconds. 0.779 long. That's the duration and how long this is. Even though up here it doesn't seem like that. But that's pretty much how long the entire multi-section track is. Alright, so this right here is another way to open stuff up. This is the import file. Like how I did this. Like you just want to do that. Just click on it. It'll take you to that. This right here to add a new file, insert in a multi-track, close selected file. Now, up top you have the move tool, razor. Razor is pretty much if you just want to take this part right here off. So, any part. Slip tool and your tab selection tool. And that's pretty much whatever you want to do. The default is a tab selection. But on here, you don't change read or anything. Just keep it on read for all of it. Alright, now I'm going to open up a recent session that I did and to show y'all what I do. Now, after you hit the R and then hit record, whatever, like it'll record and everything. As long as you got your input right, it'll record exactly the right way. Now the thing about it is, like, after you do all this, like mine, this is mixed down already. So I have another tutorial on that. If you want to look that up, I'll put it in the description. But one thing you want to do is after you record everything, get it mixed down and everything, all your volumes right here will be at 0. That's your volume, this is your pan. But your volume will be at 0. So whatever you do, make sure you name it whatever you want, like what it is. So this is what I do for one verse for, I mean, like always. It always takes me 4 tracks and I always go straight through. I don't do inputs because whenever you do inputs, it actually sounds strange and your voice level will end up changing. So I always go straight through in one take on every single verse I do. And that's actually a rule I have at my studio. You have to be able to go straight through your verse with no fucking up, or else you have to restart it over. But pretty much all your levels will be at 0. Now what you want to do, if you go to mixer, well, wait, before you do that, highlight all this and then just enable the loop playback. So while you're sitting on your mixer, this is for your volumes. See now, like how I renamed it and everything, I know what everything is. So alright, well, maybe my overdub is a little bit too loud. I might just click it, turn it down a little bit. Alright, the ad-lib's a little bit too low. Just turn it up. But pretty much while it's on loop playback, it'll keep playing so that you could get the right feel for it and where it should be at. Because that's the main thing. Whatever you do, do not use your computer speakers. Go out to Guitar Center Music, go around somewhere, ask one of your buddies that does music for, like a pair of old speakers that he have or something. Like, do not use your computer speakers because they will sound horrible. Pretty much you just want to come in here and you can sit here and change whichever way you want to do it. Lower it, raise it, that's totally up to you. One thing about me is my main vocals, like as you can see right here, is at 0. This is my volume down here. This is the pan it. My main vocals I keep at 0. This is my overdubs. My overdubs, I go to the right, or you go to the left. Anywhere between 30 to 45 is a good range to pan it. Do not pan it so that it overpowers one side. You want to be able to hear it on both sides still, but just a little bit more on the other side. That's what panning is for. So my overdub is panned to the right. My ad-libs, which is what I say at the end of every bar, is panned to the left. Then my ad-libs, what I says in between each bar, is panned to the right. So I'm gonna let y'all hear it just so y'all know what I'm talking about.
I got them rubber bands wrapped around my bankroll. You can switch it up, boy, cause your money full. Got your bitch coming down like a money pole. If I get knocked, bells in a sugar bowl. Boy, I go and get it just to get my stacks up. Count it all night, boy, I am racked up. Tell J Money coming like the track up. I'ma start it off, boy, he's my backup. You can tell I got it, boy, by the way I stand. I can do things that the mother niggas can. And as long as the white stay and have the man, I'ma keep my bankroll in no rubber bands.
Alright, now that's pretty much how I do it. So it sounds decent. One thing, whatever it is, like right here, this yellow line on every single track is your volume. The bottom one is the pan. Volume, like this right here, I'm slow it out just so y'all can understand what I'm saying.
I got them rubber bands.
Now, pretty much, I turned that up because I wanted to be heard right before my verse. But to do that, instead of doing the whole entire track, the only thing you have to do is click, just right click and hit split. Now you see it pretty much. I could lower this, raise it, whichever way I want to do. Now, another tip is with your pan. If you do this, like this is my ad-libs, I can split every single one of these, and I can have it just raise it. So one part of it you'll hear on your left side, and the other one you'll hear on the right. This is how it goes back and forth with your ad-libs. This is a good way to do that. I mean, so that's another tip. That's another tip right there. But yeah, I pretty much covered a lot. If you have any questions or anything, inbox me, comment me. I always check it. It comes to my phone. Make sure you comment, subscribe, rate. Any other tutorials you want to know about this program or any Adobe program, just let me know. Alright, I'm out.